And this very last demo, this one is like BPM jump up gone rogue. It's a bit of a like brutal jump. And I'm saying brutal in a way to say like I owned it and I knew it was brutal and I did it intentionally. That was the purpose. And it's not for every context or every dance that you're going to do. You don't want to do rogue moves all the time. So think of your context, your purpose, your intention, the people who are on the dance floor, the part of your journey that you're in. So there's a lot going on in this transition, and the energy switch is pretty high. I actually did this quite a long time ago. I don't know if I'd still do that because it's such a wide jump. I think I did this transition maybe a year and a half ago. I still really like it for the technicality of it. You could argue that it's maybe too big a jump to, be super, how can I say it? To be truly aligned with our nervous systems, it might be a bit of a wide one. But depends on the context and the people you're dancing with. So anyway, without any further ado, I went from Buscando to Bunker. I mean, the gap is ridiculous. It's like 54 BPMs. But I played this Buscando track quite far into the 3+. And it's a track that can really take a lot of bumping up. So originally it's 120, but it's one of those tracks that you can push all the way up to like 136 and it still sounds great. And, it's fast and you're like, okay, but it can work. So once again, imagine that I'm bringing up the BPM gradually throughout this whole track, and actually I didn't start it, because of where it was in the set, I didn't start it at 120, I started it probably at something like 126 or 127. That's something I do a lot. I really rarely play tracks at their original BPM. That's a thing of style and choice. That's something that you might want to do or might not want to do. Maybe it's something that makes you feel all eek and yuck about it. Or maybe you're into it. It's personal taste. Loads of increasing in that section because there's no percussion, so it's allowing us to do that quite seamlessly. Building the energy with that BPM increase. Noticing what sounds a bit too much on the voice, not increasing it too much. Etc. At this 7 mark, I'm going to bring in this loop. The loop is already there, but I'm going to bring in the volume. Pay attention to the loop. Absolutely brutal. Want to wait for the drop for you. Absolutely brutal track. Okay, so once again, This is a left field gone rogue one. I'm into it. I love the technicality of it. It's very fun. Wouldn't work everywhere. So, a lot going on, you know, BPM increase, etc., etc. Then I've got this vocal loop in bunker. And this is repeating on and on and on and on. Take it down to the, for this whole section from 6 or 7. Can't remember when I brought it in. But it's quite neutral, you know, it's not melodic. And it's kind of, we want to know where you're taking it. Where are you taking it down? So it's kind of creating intrigue, having this vocal loop. So let's go through this again. And loop-wise, I'm looping 4, then 2, 1. So I'm creating my own beat with the loop, basically. And halving that loop to create a rise. Releasing. So in these few seconds, there's a lot going on. So I'm in this loop, then I leave this loop, and I'm creating this own beat. Boom, release it. And by the time I've released it, I release that quarter beat loop when this is just about the start of it, so that I've got time to then release this loop and double click here, but on my controller, slide all the way to original BPM. So, you know, we're somewhere around here, 136. This is a bit rough. You'd want it to be closer than that. So I'm going to go and do that for you. Bring it a bit closer. Ugh, these percentages. Let's do a little 20, 142, 68. Okay, great. So, yeah. While I'm in this quarter situation, let's do it back from this. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to release it when it hits the start of this loop. And you see, even there, I was a tiny little bit late, but I'm releasing this loop situation here, the quarter one. I'm releasing it when this is at the start of the loop, because I want to give myself time to release this. So this is the order in which it goes. Release this loop, then release this loop. Imagine that it was, you know, not at the OG BPM. So release the loop on Buscando, release the loop on Bunker, and as soon as I've released the loop on Bunker, slide all the way back to OG BPM for the drop. Because if you play drum and bass at a slower BPM, it sounds whack. We don't want none of that. So yeah, this is a super fast-paced one. It's very fun. It's complex. Don't feel like you have to create transitions like this. If you just, whatever, personal taste, you don't have to do this. It's just something really fun that I wanted to share for those of you who might be into the idea of creating something playful that uses a lot of technical skills. And you might not want to do that, and that's totally fine. Okay, bye.